So I'm just gonna navigate where my shit is coming from. I've been diving into this work for so long, and this process that I'm doing right now with the Conscious Business Accelerator is honing in on a few pieces that I have not been able to hone in on before. So I'm just gonna dive a little bit deeper and look at where my stuff started. So I grew up in a very loving family. My sister was incredibly high needs, and my brother was also a little bit high needs, had some learning disabilities and things like that. I was the middle child. My mom said I was the easy one, and I was definitely a good girl. I wanted to be a good girl. I wanted to be easy. I wanted to make my parents' lives easier. I didn't want to be a burden. I people pleased. I really went out of my way to make sure that everyone around me was comfortable as I got older. Of course, as a little kid, you're not conscious of this stuff, but as I got older in my friendships and just in my work relationships and things like that, like, it was not okay if somebody was uncomfortable with me or had a problem with me. I did not know how to deal with that and was not okay with that. And really that just continued until about a year ago, maybe less than that even. Started to really become conscious and aware of that, and starting to shift out of that pattern, letting myself be uncomfortable, letting myself not respond to people or get back to people or clean things up, just because I kind of needed to go through that process with myself of allowing myself to be where I was and not shift things to make it better for the other person. And it's been wildly uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm just trying to connect the dots because I have extreme imposter syndrome. I'm trying to start. I am starting a nutrition coaching business, and I'm not 100% clear that that's actually what I want to do. It's something that I have been learning about for a really long time. I am passionate about health. I'm also passionate about balance and authenticity and empowerment. Authenticity is something that I have been coming into on my own since I think the authenticity conversation started for me when I was a teenager. And it was a way to protect myself. People pleasing is just that like chameleon kind of way of being where I just got totally lost who I actually am. And having to sort of strip down everything to get to some semblance of what is me at my root, what makes me tick, what gets me excited, what do I desire. Those questions have always been really, really difficult for me to answer, and I'm still not good at it. So I'm starting with the nutrition coaching business because I have a lot of education in that area. I have a ton of interest. I like to understand how the body works, and I like to teach other people how the body works. But it also feels like this endless learning experience that I don't really know if anybody knows the whole truth of how the body works. I don't know that we ever will. The body is so incredibly complicated and intelligent beyond our capability of understanding. So to feel like I even have a little bit of a grasp on any one process in the body, the imposter syndrome is real. I have a small understanding in a very simple terms, and honestly, I think that's all most people need, is a very simple understanding of how things work. Most people don't need to know the intricacies of how blood sugar works or how digestion works and things like that. It's not what they're about, but a basic understanding would be helpful so that they can learn the new behaviors to support those systems in the body. If that's, if they're pre-diabetic or struggling with blood sugar regulation, you need to know how it works so that you understand what to eat and what not to eat and when and what, all the circumstances that go into blood sugar regulation, like stress and sleep and, stress on the body and external stress, all those kinds of things. But there is a part of me, like when I try and really get down to what is my message and what do I want to help people achieve, like what's the goal? There's a lot of gray area there. And when I was hearing the coaches talk yesterday about who are you in this for? Are you in this for you or for them? And I was thinking, I'm in this for me. Like I'm ready to transform my life and get out of a job and really set my own schedule and make money that actually supports me and my family. It allows me to take a vacation, however, right? Like bare minimum once a year and things like that. Like put food on my table and pay all my bills without stress of reaching zero in the bank account every month, like bare minimum, right? I'm in survival right now, like that's legit. But it did really kind of wake me up, like, oh shit, what is my message? What do I want for the people that I'm working for? Yes, I want them to feel good in their body. I want them to be healthy. Is that it? So that feels really important to get clear about. And that is currently what I am working on. And also just getting really clear on what my limiting beliefs are. I definitely have a strong I am not enough, which is essentially I am not worthy conversation happening. And I'm trying to really get clear, and maybe it doesn't matter, but it seems like it does, because I have, like I said, I've done this work before and it's not really gotten me anywhere, where I've looked back at my limiting beliefs, I've looked back at my childhood, and I still didn't have enough. It still just didn't create a breakthrough for me, flipping my disempowering beliefs into empowering statements. It just hasn't done it for me. So I'm hoping that by diving deeper a little bit more into the story and making those connections, that I can have the empowering stories really, really switch a light in me, that when I connect with them and I take action in the direction of those new empowering stories, that it triggers that transformation for me. So that is what I am looking for, and that's where I'm going to leave it with this first video.